If we say that we love God, then we feed, then we take care, and then we love one another. Welcome to the sermon. Do you love me? Mark 12, verse 30 and 31 says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength. The second is this, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than this. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow, verse 31, Danny, finally. I counted the sermons that I did for verse 30, and it was over 12 sermons. Over 12 sermons from one verse. That is crazy. But I was thinking, I had something in mind while I was doing that. I have like a purpose in mind while I was doing that. And I think it's one of the ideas and the emphasis of doing that is for us to reflect and to think that sometimes our problem is not because we need more knowledge. Sometimes our issue is not because we lack of knowledge. Sometimes our issue is that the knowledge that we have in one verse, we don't do it, but we want more. You know, it's like when we go to the market, we just want more. Just want more. No, I need more. If I have more, then I will be a better person. If I have more, then I will do this. If I have more, then I change. If I have more, then, give me more. Give me more. But just from one verse, we talk about the heart, we talk about the soul, we talk about the mind, we talk about the strength, we talk about loving God so much. Just from one verse. If we put that verse into practice, then our lives are going to change and we don't need more verses. We just need to know that He's asking us, love me. And the question this morning is, do you love me? And we're going to go into a fascinating journey of talking about love your neighbor, talking about love yourself, and talking about love as Jesus loved us. That's the following Sundays we're going to be talking about that, though the following Sunday and the next after that is Palm Sunday and Easter Sunday. Those 2 Sundays are going to be different, and then we're going to go back to verse 31 of Mark. So John 21, verse 15. After breakfast, Jesus asked Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me more than this? Yes, Lord, Peter replied, you know I love you. Then feed my lambs, Jesus told him. Jesus repeated the question, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Yes, Lord, Peter said, you know I love you. Then take care of my sheep, Jesus said. Verse 17, a third time he asked him, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Peter was hurt that Jesus asked the question a third time. He said, Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you. Jesus said, then feed my sheep. And I was thinking, why is Jesus saying that? Because he could have said something different. He could have asked something for himself, And that's normally what happens when you're talking about a person. If you ask the person, do you love me? Because sometimes you're going to ask for something, Like when children go to the parents, Dad, do you love me? It's like, just tell me what you want, Just tell me what you want. Just go, I love you. Just tell me what you want. Tell me what you need, And this question, Jesus is asking Peter, Peter, do you love me? Why is Jesus not asking for things that I will think he will say? Like, Peter, do you love me? Yes, I love you. Then go and read the Bible. Peter, do you love me? Yes. Let me put in my name. Danny, do you love me? Yes. Then go and pray. Danny, do you love me? Yes. Then go and fast. Danny, do you love me? Yes. Then go to church. Danny, do you love me? Then sing out loud while you're in the service. Danny, do you love me? Then do Bible studies. Danny, do you love me? Then do this and do that. That's what I would think he will ask, Something for him, at least. Danny, do you love me? But he's asking that, and he's saying, love people. And why is that? Because there is a close relationship between loving God and loving people. There is a close relationship between loving God and loving people. And that's why the 2 commandments are there. And that's why Jesus, in this case, is asking, do you love me? Then do this for my people. He wasn't asking anything for himself, in the way that we think about that. Like, oh, if I pray, then I'm praising him. If I pray, then I'm, surrendered to him. And that's not, and I'm not saying that that's not what you should do or something that you shouldn't do. What I'm saying is that Jesus didn't ask for that. 3 times he asked. 3 times he answered something that was related to love people. And that's the reason why he is talking about, and that's his answer and his request to Peter when he's asking, do you love me? Then love people, And there are like this book that is the 5 languages of love, and quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, and all that. I think that Jesus' language of love is love people. He wasn't asking anything for himself. He was telling, if you love me, and you do this for them. And that's what also when he says that when he comes back, he's going to ask, oh, thank you for doing this for me. And the people are going to say, like, when did we do that? When you did it for them, you did it for me. Are you connecting the dots? He didn't ask like, oh, yeah, when you were reading the Bible. I'm not saying that's not correct. That's not good. I'm just saying that's not what he said. But he said, when you did this for them, and you did it to me. It's kind of like, you need to know the love language of the other person to go and fit, and people need to know your love language, so then you get in that way. Jesus' love language is love people. That's what you need to do in order to love Jesus, in order to show Jesus that you're loving him. Love people. Love one another. Verse 15. After breakfast, Jesus asked Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me more than this? Yes, Lord, Peter replied, you know I love you. Then feed my lamb. The word that is using for feed can also be translated as pasture or graze. And I was thinking that in this case, Jesus is not asking you to produce the food. He's asking you to feed, which implies that the food is already there. What you need to do is to put it in the mouth of the person that needs it. He's not asking you to create something, to do the hard job. He's asking you to take the food that he has given you and put it in the place, in the mouth of another person. He says, feed my sheep. Feed my lamb, in this case. Feed my lambs. So he's telling you to go to the grass that is available, the grass that you haven't produced, because in that case it's like, just take them where the grass is and feed them with the grass that I have already produced. So he has already given us the resources to feed ourselves and to feed others. He's just asking us to take the people and feed them with whatever source of food and drink the people are in need of. Sometimes it's solid food. Sometimes it's spiritual food. Sometimes it's Jesus himself. But it's just there. We don't need to create the food. The food is there. And then he's using the word lamb for this first part. And lamb are like the little ones. It's like, take care of my little ones. The ones that don't know how to navigate life. The ones that don't know what a Christian life is. The ones that don't know, the ones that are just starting in the process of Christianity or in the process of life. Take care of those who are weak. Take care of them. That's what I'm telling you. Don't be like, oh, they're so weak because they're not doing this and they're not doing that. What Jesus is asking you to do is to feed them, actually, so that they can get strength. Feed my lambs. Maybe sometimes what we tend to think is we tend to diminish the lambs in a congregation. Oh, that's probably because maybe you're going through that because you deserve that. Maybe you're going through that because you have been sinning. Maybe you're going through that because you don't read the Bible. Maybe you're going through that because you don't pray enough. Maybe you're going through that because you're not going to church. If you go to church, then everything is going to be, maybe you're going through that because for some reason you're going through that. And Jesus is not telling you to figure out why the person is going through that. What Jesus is telling you, feed them. Feed them. He's not asking you to ask them or to judge them or to figure or to understand why. He's telling you, feed them. That's what they need at this point. And that is an opportunity for you to actually love Jesus. Because he said, if you love me, then you feed my people. If you find a person that looks like a little baby, like a little one, because of whatever the person is going through, it's an opportunity for you to say and to think that if you do that, then you're loving God. Then you're actually loving Jesus. And you're also loving that person and whatever the person is going through. Verse 16, Jesus repeated the question, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Yes, Lord, Peter said, you know I love you. Take care of my sheep. In this case, he changed the word. Now he's not saying feed, he's saying take care. Because sometimes feed is just a process of a one-time thing. You go, feed, you're done. But take care is a process that can be constant and can be slow depending on the care that the person needs, depending on the situation. And in this case, he's telling you to take care. Another translation for take care can be shepherd, can be herd, can be to rule, or can be to take care. And I found that also interesting that it's to rule. That means that you have some authority. You have some place of authority into that person that you can lead the person. So the person doesn't go astray or get lost. And Jesus is telling you, take care of them. Be mindful of their needs. What are they in need of so that you can take care of them? Because that's another thing that happens sometimes is that we think the person needs this. So we give that person that. But we don't even know what the person is asking for. We haven't even asked for, what do you need from me so I can give you that, so I can take care of you in a way that you need it. Sometimes the person doesn't know and you can help. Sometimes the person is in need of something and you haven't even asked and you're just like, boom, 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 boom. Take 10 verses and read them and you're going to be good. Sometimes they just need a hug. Sometimes they just need your presence. Sometimes they just need multiple things. Take care of my sheep. And then sheep, it's a word that is used in general for little and old. So it's like a general. Take care of everybody pretty much. It doesn't matter if it's old, if it's young, if it's spiritually mature, if not spiritually mature. Take care of everybody, he's basically saying. Verse 17. A third time he asked him, Simon, son of John, do you love me? And at that point, Peter was hurt that Jesus asked the question a third time. Because you know that if I'm asking you something, but I ask you 3 times, it's like, there's something wrong here. It's not normal. He knows something that I don't know, or he knows something that I did, and maybe how is he knowing everything? You start thinking about what's wrong with this? What's wrong with the situation? Why is he asking me 3 times the same question? And the exact same question. And it's a profound question because it's not anything. It's like, do you love me? There's a lot of deepness into the question of, do you love me? And if I ask you 3 times, it's for some reason. At that point, Peter was hurt. And then at that point, he was also like giving it up. Lord, you know everything. Why are you asking me about this? You know everything. You know that I love you, Jesus said. And I like also that Peter didn't say, Lord, you know everything. He could have stopped that. I'm done. You know everything. But he said, you know everything. You know that I love you. And then Jesus said, then feed my sheep. So he goes back, and then he says, feed my sheep. And if you don't know how to love God, and then we have talked about that in our previous sermons, that we need to look at him because he is love. And the kind of love that he's asking us to do for the other people, to feed and to take care, is a love that goes first, that sacrifice, and that help others, you know? And at this point, because he's using the metaphor of a shepherd and the sheep. And most of us live in the city. We don't know about that. Most of us have never been around sheep. Most of us have never been shepherding sheep. We don't know what it looked like. So then a good question right now is like, okay, what does it mean to be a good shepherd? What does it mean to feed the sheep? What does it mean to take care of the sheep? And like when we're talking about love, the answer was look at God because He is love. The answer here for this question of what is a good shepherd is look at Jesus. So let's go to John 10, verse 11. It says, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd sacrifices his life for the sheep. A good shepherd sacrifices his life for the sheep. There is some sort of sacrifice in the process of loving Jesus and loving people. You're sacrificing something for the sake of the other person. Maybe you're sacrificing your time. Maybe you're sacrificing your resources. Maybe you're sacrificing your thoughts and your ideas of how to love the other person. Maybe you're sacrificing multiple things, thoughts that are coming to your mind. Maybe you're sacrificing something. But that's part of what a good shepherd does. A good shepherd sacrifices his life for the others. And Jesus is telling you, be a shepherd for my people. Shepherd my people. Verse 12 and 13. A hired hand will run when he sees a wolf coming. He will abandon the sheep because they don't belong to him and he is in their shepherd. And so the wolf attacks them and scatters the flock. The hired hand runs away because he's working only for the money and doesn't really care about the sheep. The bad shepherd abandons. The bad shepherd runs away. That's not a good shepherd. The good shepherd stays there and remains there and is there for the people, no matter the circumstances. Of course, when the circumstances are complicated, it's the best place for the shepherd to be because now he's actually going to be a shepherd. He's going to take care. He's going to protect. He's going to feed. He's going to go and find the one that is lost and going to put it back in the place. He's going to be thinking about the whole time of how am I going to control this situation? How am I going to take care of the people? You know, that's a good time to be a good shepherd. But the one that is not a good shepherd runs away. When there is a need, you run away. When there is a need, you abandon. When there is a need, you don't do anything. The good shepherd doesn't do that. The good shepherd sacrifices his life and is there. But the one who's not understanding that is the one that is abandoning and is living and is going away. And he's like, you know what? This is going too crazy. God bless you. You know, I'm gone. You know, go and pray. I'm gone. Go and read the Bible. I'm gone. You know? This is not my... Now you need to figure out for yourself. I have been trying to take care of you. I have been trying to do this for you. But right now it's the moment for you to go by yourself. You're actually abandoning the sheep. The good shepherd stays there. Verse 14 and 15. I am the good shepherd, says Jesus. I know my own sheep, and they know me. Just as my Father knows me, and I know the Father, so I sacrifice my life for the sheep. And this is interesting because it says, I know them. If you are a good shepherd, if you're actually loving people, if Jesus is asking you, do you love me? And he's telling you to feed the sheep and to take care of the sheep, you know the sheep. And that's what I was saying before. At some point, sometimes we want to help people in my way, in my own way. In the way I think the other person needs help. But the good shepherd knows the other person, knows what's the other person's language of love, knows what the other person needs exactly, knows what the other person is going through. Know the struggles of the other person, know a little bit of the past of the other person, know a little bit of the traumas and the situations of the other person, so you can be a source of help for the person and not another burden for the person. Because he's telling you, take care. Don't be a burden for them. And that's what the Pharisees and the people were doing at that point. And he says, come to me, my yoke is easy. Because they're putting a burden on you. You have to carry that. And Jesus is showing you the way to love people. You know them. And because there's also a sacrifice in order to know another person. You need to spend time with the person. You need to take time with the person to ask the person, how are you doing? What's going on? Tell me about you. How are you feeling this morning? And all that. And sometimes I don't have time for that. And just can I just help you? I'm doing. Or can I just do this for you? But that's not what I need. I think that's what you need exactly. No, I just want someone to listen to me. I would rather be hungry and starving than having nobody to talk to. Because the needs of a person is different. You don't know what the person is going to need. Your needs are not the needs of the other person. So don't try to fill your needs by feeding the other person in that way. You know. And Jesus said, I know my sheep. I know my people. I know what they need. And that's why I'm here. Because I know exactly what they need. They are expecting of me of being a king that is going to conquer and going to destroy. That's not what they need. I know them. I know exactly what they need, and I'm going to give them that. They don't even know what they need, but I'm going to give them that because I know them. And another good thing is that, and they know me. That's another interesting thing, because sometimes I don't have time to introduce myself. I don't have time to talk about me. Let's just talk about you. You're the one that are going through something. I don't need to explain my life. I don't need to explain my struggles. Don't worry about me. Let's just talk about you. But Jesus said, the good shepherd is the one that knows and they know you. You're transparent. You're clear. You're open. You're honest. That's why it's not easy to love God. When we were talking about love God with all your heart, He gave me a new heart. Good. With all your soul, He cleaned my soul. Good. With all my mind, now He's doing something in my mind. Great. With all my strength, He's renewing my strength. Great. Do you love me? Jesus said. Then take care of my people. Do you love me? Then feed my people. That's when it's sacrificial. Though it's complicated to spend some time with God and Jesus, read the Bible, do those things, go and love people and see what's the difference between the struggles of doing one thing and the other. I know them and they know me. Verse 16, I have other sheep too that are not in this sheepfold. I must bring them also. They will listen to my voice, and there will be one flock with one shepherd. And at this point I was thinking, sometimes we ask, who are we supposed to love? That question comes to our mind. We're supposed to love my family first, the Christians first, the people in my community first, people around the world first. Interesting thing is that Jesus said, feed my sheep, feed my lambs, feed people, take care of them. He didn't specify what kind of because that's not our role, I don't think so, to determine this person is first and this person is second. Our role is to love. That's why He said, do you love me? Do this for them. And also He's talking about, I have this, but I'm going to bring them to the other ones that are scattered. And I'm going to bring them and they're going to be one. You don't know if you're loving the first ones or the second one. It doesn't matter. The point is that they're going to bring them together, and there's going to be one. Our job is not to determine who are the first and who are the last. Our job is to love Jesus and love his people. Verse 17 and 18. The Father loves me because I sacrificed my life so I may take it back again. No one take my life from me. I sacrifice it voluntarily. For I have the authority to lay it down when I want to, and also to take it up again. For this is what my Father has commanded. And again, Jesus is saying, I sacrifice my life. Because that is what a good shepherd does. Sacrifices his life for the sake of the other person. For the sake of the person that don't even deserve your time. For the sake of the person that don't even deserve your resources. For the sake of the person that are stubborn, like the animals sometimes. They just want to go that way and you have to go. They just want to go that way and you have to go there. They just want to go that way and you have to. I sacrifice my life. And another interesting thing here is that it says voluntarily. If you do it by force or just thinking that you need to do it in order to be good with God, I think that it's an issue. Because then it's going to be forced. It needs to come also from your heart, the heart that God gave you, that is new. And from there you need to be also, because that's the consequence of being in a relationship with God. Is that now you can experience his love, and now you want to share his love to other people. Now you want to do that to other people. You do it voluntarily. You're sacrificing your life, but you're also doing it voluntarily. But also at the end of the verse, it says, for this is what my Father has commanded. So it's a commandment as well. And the commandments that we have in verse 30 and 31 is love God and love people. So let me ask you something this morning. Church, people here, do you love God? Then feed his people. N.T. Wright makes a comment about this question. Simon, son of John, Jesus, do you love me? And N.T. Wright says, there is a whole world in that question. A world of personal invitation and challenge, of the remaking of a human being after disloyalty and disaster, of the refashioning of epistemology itself, the question of how we know things to correspond to the new ontology, the question of what reality consists of. Just by reading that so complicated, as the question is, do you love me? Because that question was after resurrection. After Peter denied him 3 times. So it's bringing a whole new power into the question. It's after Jesus rose again from the dead. After he said, okay, here we go with my kingdom. Now established. Now let's do it. Peter, do you love me? It's not an easy question. It's not an easy answer. Jesus, I love you. Then do this. Okay, I believe you. Then go and do this. Love my people. Feed my people. So let me ask you again. Do you love God? Take care of his people. Let me ask you a third time. Do you love Jesus? Then love people. God bless you.